On this episode of the Girl Talk podcast,
why is it not popular other times of the year?
I
I really liked it when I was a kid.
Yeah, wasn't it like the astronauts drink?
Yeah.
Okay,
Tang.
it's like
I just like to say it. Tang. Hello there. You're listening to the Girl Talk podcast brought to you by our friends at Fox Toyota of East Tennessee. My name is Carol.
I'm Kelly.
Hey, I'm Trisha.
And that's all for today.
Nope. Absolutely not.
It is time for Carol's Hot Seat. It's a Christmas carol.
Christmas carol. What you did
What's
there?
your favorite Christmas carol, Carol?
Probably have to be "Oh Holy Night."
Ooh.
I actually keep the words to that song on. I've got one of my friends gave me. It's like a print of it, and it stays up in my house all year long because I love it so much. Yeah.
Well,
Such
we should be
powerful.
celebrating all year
Yeah.
long, shouldn't we?
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's very good,
Yes.
Carol.
Thank you.
And that's a good one that's got good meaning to
I know.
it, too.
Yeah. I
Okay,
love
so
it.
the past couple of weeks we've been doing the
Sure.
Christmas hot seat.
Yeah.
Y'all made me go first.
Yep.
Then Kelly.
Yes.
So check those out if you haven't listened to them yet. But today it's our Christmas carol. We love our Christmas carol. We love our carol any time of the year, but
Yes.
Christmas carol is especially fun and
Yes.
funny. I'll be honest.
Yeah. Has to be.
The most wonderful time of the year, is it not, Carol?
Or it is. Till it's not. And then it's not.
Okay.
I see some stories coming
Yes.
out of your head.
Yes. I just be warned. There are going to be stories. So if I get to telling too much and oversharing, y'all just cut me off. Okay.
All right.
That's
Agreed.
a deal. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll start, and then Kelly,
Okay.
maybe you go. We'll just
All right,
alternate.
yes.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, Carol. What is your favorite Christmas guilty pleasure?
I think probably it would have to be Russian tea.
Ooh, yes.
Like, I don't drink Russian tea any other time of the year, but it gets to about, December 1st. And like just this, I even ordered an essential oil this year that smells, it's called Holiday something other, but it smells like Russian tea. So I keep it going in the house all the time. And it's like Christmas in a cup. Right
How did
there.
you end up getting excited about
I
Russian
can,
tea?
I can remember being a kid at my grandmother's house, and all the adults are drinking coffee, and so she wanted to give us something that the
Special.
kids could have.
Yeah.
And it wasn't hot chocolate; it was always Russian tea. So that's kind of where I remember getting that from.
So do you make like the powdered version?
Yeah,
or
yeah.
is it the
Yeah, no.
okay, powdered version?
You make it
Yeah.
with Tang.
yeah, with
Yeah,
Tang,
oh,
which is
yeah.
hard
With
to
Tang.
find. Everybody wants Tang this time of year, and you can't find
That's
it.
right.
Yeah.
Have to buy it in like February. Hold it.
Right. Hold it for the year.
Sometimes I feel like Tang in June. Somebody wants me.
Why is Tang not? Why is it not popular other times of the year?
know.
I
It's
really liked it when I
delightful.
was a kid.
Yeah, wasn't it like the astronauts drink?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Tang.
you.
It's like
I just like to say it. Tang.
Okay.
it's because they sell so much of it at Christmas. They have to spend the rest of the year
They're
replenishing
like
their
the
stock.
elves.
That's
You
true.
do have the rest of the year off.
Right.
You're a Tang elf.
That's right. Maybe they switch to some other drink.
How did we get here?
I don't know, but let's move on. Okay, so all right. Next question, Carol Davis. What's your weirdest Christmas tradition?
So, this actually didn't start as a Christmas tradition, but it became, and we don't do it anymore because my grandmother passed away. But we went to her house one year, and she was one of those people who, even if she had to get you something little, she was going to buy you something. Because she came from a time and grew up in a time where they didn't have anything, so she felt like she needed to get everything, so to get everybody something. So one year she was like getting gifts, and she got my dad these mustard colored socks. And I mean, when I'm saying mustard colored, they were the color of mustard.
Wow.
And my dad opens them, and he's like looking at him, and everybody's looking around and kind of laughing, but it wasn't a joke to her. He was like, I hope you didn't pay full price for these.
Oh, no.
And that same year, she got my mom these long, dangly velvet earrings that were blue and black.
You've blown
And
my
they
mind.
they were like real hangy down ones. And we cracked up. And so those two gifts became the gifts that we would, if you didn't get them that year, then in the years following, we would pass those around until, and y'all can't tell this, so don't tell any of my family this.
It's
But
a secret.
so a gal married into the family, and she didn't know about evidently her husband didn't tell her about, and so she got the earrings one year, but nobody had told her. And so seeing her try to pretend like those were the greatest things ever was so incredibly funny. I just can't even. I mean, I can still think about it today and get so tickled I wheeze. So.
Where
Anyway,
are they? Do you know?
we
where
don't
the
know.
velvet
We don't know.
earrings
I
and
think
the
they may have
mustard
stopped with her. I don't remember exactly,
She
but
usually wore 'em.
I mean, for years, like before the Dirty Santa, White Elephant thing became a thing, like those got passed around every year, and it was so funny. And then when my grandmother passed away, we have an egg plate from her because she used to do the deviled eggs and take them to church and yada. And it was a ceramic egg plate, right? So you'd use it at Easter. Well, my oldest sister, hates eggs. And so every year we would wrap up the egg plate and give it to my sister. And so we just kind of have something going all the time.
That's so fun.
It's like Christmas present opening is so much fun in your family.
A lot of laughs.
It is, because you just never know with my gang.
Yes.
I mean, we just...
Lots of wheezing.
We do.
Lots of wheezing.
There is lots of wheezing.
I see some mustard socks in your future.
They probably will show back up sometime. If you ever see mustard socks, buy them for me, and I'll pay you back.
Were they like French's or Dijon colored?
I'm going to say French's.
French's.
Yeah, they
Yellow.
weren't fancy color. No. Because then I feel like you would be very popular in Dijon, you know. But
Grey Poupon.
regular French's,
Yes.
That was like the
Pardon
height
me,
of
sir.
society. It was
That's
Grey
right.
Poupon.
Do you have any Grey Poupon? Nobody ever pulled up to a stoplight next to me and asked me if I had Grey Poupon, which was disappointing. But
Today could be the day.
Marion.
All right, now I want to ask you when you put up your tree, because I feel like we're connected in the fact that we're not always the earliest.
No.
Is this true for you?
Yeah,
or what?
I am typically very much a traditionalist. Like, I do not even entertain the idea or thought until Thanksgiving Day.
Okay.
However, I'm going to have a little caveat here. I just needed some happy this year, and so I ended up putting it up about a week before Thanksgiving because I knew that Thanksgiving Day was going to be busy and we were going to be traveling and doing some other things. So I actually put it up before Thanksgiving. My daughter even came out. She was like, "Are you okay?" Like, because I've always been like strict. Nope, we're not putting it up. Now she has a tree in her room, which she generally puts up around the end of October, 1st of November.
Oh,
She's a Christmas freak.
She's like me.
Yeah. Yeah, she likes it up early.
Love
and
it.
she leaves it up almost year round.
Do you love it? Like, do you feel different when you have the Christmas tree up?
You know, when I feel different is like when I come in from a long day and I just turn the Christmas tree lights on.
Yeah.
And like I found
something
this
about that.
playlist, this Christmas jazz playlist that I like, and I'll put that on and, you know, make me a cup of coffee or something. And that's when I really appreciate it because it helps
Russian
me to
tea.
just go, yeah, you know.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
So how long do you keep your tree up?
Now, this I am a stickler on. Like, before I clean up all the wrapping paper from the presents, the tree is down. Like, I take it down on Christmas Day.
Before the wrapping paper?
That's horrible.
I know. I just can't. I can't.
How
So
do you even
let
do
me.
that?
Well, let me just explain. So, you know, my dad passed away about 4 years ago, and his birthday is January 4th, and so Christmas is kind of difficult for me.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
You're not alone.
yeah, and so I think I'm just ready to move on past the New Year's and all the stuff. And so I just feel like it's another thing. And two, just practically speaking, you know, my kid goes back to school. We jump back into basketball season, you know, all the things. And so I just like to go ahead and feel like, okay, that's over and finished with. And I mean, honestly, this sounds a little weird. And maybe this is like, you don't psychoanalyze this, but I can feel like the expectations can change back to normal life.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So I always take it down on Christmas Day. Like, they laugh at me
Christmas
because
Day.
they're like, well, have you put your presents away yet? Because the Christmas tree's down. You know, I mean, it's real quick. I'm ready to be done and
Okay.
back to normal stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's so much clutter with Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
That it's nice just to pack it up and be done with it. And
Yeah. You're trying to make me feel better.
I
aren't you?
am.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Totally.
It's working.
Trying to make up for my going, oh, that was horrible.
But my mom, you know, back when she lived at home, she gave me an Easter tree one year.
Oh.
And it like had it was a small tree. It wasn't like full size or anything, but it was a small tree and it had little egg ornaments on it. And I was like, what do I even do with it? Like, I don't know what. She had great hopes that I would be, you know, my house would look like Southern living and I would have an egg tree in my house. But
Yeah.
no, more like a
not so
nightmare
much.
me. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so what is the best Christmas gift you ever got? Either when you were a child or maybe recently. What's your favorite Christmas gift memory?
Well, of course, there's a story here. So, I'm like Trisha. My bike was like a symbol of freedom and like a rite of passage into like not being a baby anymore. You know, even though you're a little older. And I think I was like 8 or 9 maybe, but I wasn't that great at riding a bike just yet. But there were 4 cars in our driveway. So 2 in the front, 2 in the back, right? So I had the perfect space to learn to ride my bike around those cars. Only when I would start to fall over, I would put my foot out and dent the car.
Oh, no.
And so my dad comes in one day and he was like, "Where in the world have you guys been parking?" We're like, "What?" And he's like, "There are dents all up and down." And it was me. It was me trying to ride the bike and sticking my foot out. He caught me doing that. And that didn't end well, but it's a great memory. It's a great memory now.
It's fun to laugh now.
It is. It is. So that was probably my
not
bike.
happy at the time.
There was also the time where I was like, you know, when you're a kid and you're like, have that one thing and you can't get your mind off of it and you're like, I hope I get this so much. So
It's like the BB gun in the Christmas Story.
Yes. Only for me, it was a Sony Walkman.
Oh, yes.
I wanted a Sony Walkman so bad. And so it was like 2 weeks maybe before Christmas, and my mom put a present under the tree, and I was like, that's my Sony Walkman right there.
Uh-oh.
And so one day she had to go out to the grocery store. My dad was out doing something in the yard, and I was like, look there.
See where this is going. This
The
is
edge,
not good.
the edge of that Sony Walkman is coming unstuck from the tape. I would just take a little look.
Little peek.
So I, made sure I looked out the blind, made sure my dad was occupied. My mom, I knew, was not going to be back for a few minutes. So, and I said, "Oh, looky there, the other end is kind of coming untaped too." And so I pulled back the paper very carefully so I could put it back, and nobody would know. And I pulled it back, and right there on the top of the box, written in big bold letters, was Oral-B toothbrush.
Oh, no. That's not a Sony Walkman.
I was so disappointed.
Did you get a Sony Walkman as another kid?
I did, but it was like I don't think I got it that year. I think maybe I got it the next year. I mean, now I appreciate my mom's affinity for my oral health, but back then,
Not so much.
I was like, it's like getting underwear,
Yeah.
An
That is like
toothbrush.
underwear.
Yeah. So there you go.
Oh, Carol.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You got your Walkman.
I did, along with Chicago 17, that cassette.
Okay,
Yes.
there you go.
Hard
Oh,
habit
yeah.
to break.
Yep.
Both the
thank you,
Sony
Peter
Walkman
Cetera.
and Chicago 17.
Yes.
So there
that
you go.
was one of the best albums ever.
Yes.
Kelly, I realized I skipped. I didn't mean to, but I skipped one of the questions. I'm sorry. I was just looking down. Anyway, what's your favorite Christmas pastime? I messed up our questions. I'm sorry. What's your favorite Christmas pastime?
Okay, I have one recent and one when I was a kid. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So my recent one was our church does a thing called the Innkeeper's Journey, which is a story written by one of our church members of what it would have been like and to hear the story of Jesus. And last year it was a drive-through. This year it's like a hayride through, but they build all these sets at our churches. It goes from the birth of Christ to the resurrection of Christ. There's a tomb and Jesus on the cross. It's really incredible.
That sounds cool.
Is it from
Yes.
the innkeeper's perspective?
Yes, it's it's written from the innkeeper's perspective.
That's neat.
Yeah, and so I'm a part of that this year, and it's just been really cool to watch and see people do that.
What does that mean? You're a part of that? Are you
So,
like a
no?
character?
I am
in
nothing spiritual. I am in charge of the pre-show to entertain folks while they wait for the bus to go over to the thing. So I play Christmas music, kind of like what I do every day. I play Christmas music and say funny stuff and say serious stuff and play Breath
Get
of
people
Heaven.
ready.
Yeah, get people ready.
You're
for it.
preparing them.
That's right. So I
Do you
love
ever
being
need
a
some
part of that.
hecklers in the crowd?
yeah,
I'm
that's
sure
just
there will
like
be
2K,
plenty
I know.
of those. I'm
Yes.
sure there'll
We
be
can
plenty.
volunteer.
The other thing is, I will never forget. My dad was a volunteer fireman in our community. And one year, he came home from work and he said, "I want you to go with me to the fire department." And I just thought because we often stop by the fire department there in our little community. And we went to the fire department, and I didn't know that this was what was happening, but they had found a family in our community that was a needy family, and their kids weren't going to have anything for Christmas that year. And the fire department had pooled their resources and gone and bought Christmas gifts for all the children. And we got to the fire department, and they had wrapped all the gifts, and we loaded them up on one of the fire trucks, and we went to the home. And one of my dad's friends dressed up like Santa Claus, and we went in, and just I can remember this, and I can close my eyes and be right there. I remember walking through their living area and being able to look down and see dirt. And it was just at 8 years old, such an impactful experience to see a kid who was they didn't even have a Christmas tree. We took a Christmas tree, the lights, the whole 9 yards. And to see those kids just be able to play with the toys with them, and to just I still to this day can almost get teary-eyed thinking about that. And I don't even think my dad realized I probably was getting on my mom's nerves or something. I don't know that it was really an intentional trip to shape me in the way that I view Christmas and how we celebrate. But man, it was so impactful. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. And I have never forgotten that. And every year around this time, I think of that particular experience, and that's one of my favorite Christmas memories ever.
That is wonderful.
That's great.
And that is your heart. Yeah. Your heart is to be generous and to be kind and to be loving, and we love you and we appreciate you and we appreciate all you do.
Yes.
The Girl Talk podcast could not go forward 1 second without you and your vision and your leadership and your love. And we all love you so much.
We do.
I love you guys
and we
too.
want you and your family to have the merriest Christmas ever.
Thank you.
Full of love and joy and peace.
You know how loved you are.
Yes. I love you guys too, and I'm so thankful for what God's doing through this podcast.
Yes.
And thankful that we are able to spend time with you on a weekly basis. We do not take that for granted. We know you're very busy, and so anytime that you tune in and spend some time with us, we consider that an honor and a privilege. So thank you so much for listening today. Thank you to our friends at Fox Toyota of East Tennessee for their partnership in ministry. We could not do this without your help. And you know what? We're not stopping here. So much more Girl Talk ahead. And we're excited about that, and we want you to be a part of it. If you'd like to share some of your Christmas favorite pastimes, your guilty pleasures, or maybe just to say hello, we'd love for you to email us, girltalk@thelightfm.org. And we'll see you next time we gather around these microphones for the next Girl Talk podcast.